Welcome to another edition of Big Sky 35. Pop, we're all talking baseball this week. Sorry, just telling my dad something before we came on. It just kind of cracked me up as I'm going through my head.
Yeah, we've also had a rain delay.
Yeah, we've had a rain delay. Dad's having terrible storms here in Virginia.
Yeah, we were ready to get going, and we had
power went out
here. It knocked everything off the air.
Which, I mean, we're supposed to have storms this evening. That's been my problem, like trying to watch games this week. Is like it's hit or miss if you're going to be able to watch. My Mets.
I was trying to watch games this week, and there was a pile of them rained out. I mean,
yeah, it's we are our hearts go out to the people across this country that are dealing with these rains and horrific.
Baseball game is nothing compared to what those people in Texas are going through. And they had some bad floods in central North Carolina where some people lost their lives too.
Yeah, we're getting nailed here. So we just that's sorry, I had a message for future videos. The weather this week, it's going to be how to put these games in, makeup, stuff like that. I know the Mets are playing the Royals, which I've been wanting to watch those games because I like the Royals too. I want to see them actually in the playoffs. So, but not at the expense of the Mets. The Mets, we'll get into it later. I think these are the last games today, right?
This is it.
For the All-Star break. So
this is it, and then they have the draft tonight. They have the home run derby tomorrow. They had the Futures game yesterday. Home run derby is Monday night. The draft is tonight, Sunday night. Yeah. Home run derby Monday night. All-Star game Tuesday night, and they resume play Friday and play the Friday, Saturday, Sunday games.
Right. Yeah, because I was reading today that a Virginia guy withdrew from the draft, so that's good for us. Somebody must have came up with some NIL money or something. But anyway, so I'm really interested in this draft tonight. I usually watch, or I have it pinned up. I don't watch it because I don't know the names, but I've always said it's interesting to see what position, how many shortstops are going to be taken. There should be a betting line in Vegas.
I looked at the last mock draft. And shortstop / pitcher, shortstop / outfielder, shortstop / third base, second base.
Right.
They dominate the top 20 because they're the best athletes on the field.
And it's really interesting that first pick. I'm sorry, I go pitcher. I'm going pitcher every day of the week. And if I become the best player all time, then I'll eat crow. But I'm going pitcher. I think you have to.
Yeah, the Nationals they got to do something. They got to find it. Wood. They have got to replace him in the outfield and make him a DH. He cannot play the outfield. He's horrible. I mean, he missed a fly ball yesterday to cost him 2 runs, and they wound up losing in the bottom of the 9th to Milwaukee. But it cost him 2 runs earlier in the game. The ball went right over his head. He misjudged it. He misjudged it like a little league left fielder would misjudge a fly.
I just watched that for the Royals game. It looked like the guy needed directions to the ball. That outfielders. I know the afternoon games, sun, all that stuff's really bad. If you played baseball at all, you know what an afternoon sun is all about, high up in the sky, especially if it's a cloudless day too. Everybody thinks the clouds actually give you a ceiling. When it's a cloudless day, man, that's tough. Tough days.
Well, the big thing about Washington this week, right after we finished taping our show last Sunday, they fired the general manager and the manager.
Yeah, I called you right before I did my Sunday night show.
I mean, I thought Rizzo should have been gone a long time ago because of he gave Strasburg that here he had a pitcher that couldn't stay healthy. He had one good year, real good year, 2 or 3.
Well, I mean, he had a good World Series.
He was the most valuable player in the World Series, and so he gave him a long-term contract. And I'm sitting there, here I am, some schlump who theoretically doesn't know anything about baseball, and I'm saying, what are you doing? This guy, he goes on the 60-day IL with a hangnail. He's not. You're giving him, and then as soon as he gives him that huge contract, which is in baseball, everything is guaranteed. Right. He gets a nerve problem in his neck and shoulder, and he's done. But they're still paying him. Yep. See, he should have been gone a long time ago. You don't pay. I'm not paying you for what you did. I got to pay you what I think you are going to do.
Right.
You can't pay.
That's why I'm saying you got to have the picture.
You have given us all these good years for the Angels. We're going to give you another $200 million contract. You might just throw the money in the river. Some of these general managers do this kind of stuff, and when he gave Strasburg, I said, this guy he's good in name only, and of course,
well,
they got him and Martinez, and the team still stinks. So I mean,
they got with DeSoto, they gave him long term in New York. One of the New York teams was going to give it to him. The difference was the Mets would give his mama a place to sit. That's basically what it came down to, his family. But and I think he really wanted to play with Lindor. I think he felt more comfortable playing over there. But anyway, at the beginning of the year, everybody wanted to dog him. Well, I look at his line today, and guess what? Soto. I told everybody he's going to be just fine. He's 265, which is a little low for him. 23 homers, but his on-base percentage is one of the best in the league. I was telling everybody, just chill out.
Yeah, and he's on pace to have more than 100 RBIs. So.
Right. It's just chill. Soto. Just let him relax, get into the groove of things. And I think once that Mets team started having fun a little bit, they're good. But then they got in the first, and then they got a little tight again.
And they're trying to get all their pitchers back too. I mean, they got swept by the Orioles.
Yeah.
And now they went out and played Kansas City.
The Orioles have if you hit the Orioles at a raw time when they're hitting, you're going to have a tough weekend. Yeah, I'm sorry.
They've split this week. They're in a rain delay right now.
And I mean, and here's another team that I feel like is like I tell everybody because they just somehow they do it. It is the Brewers. The Brewers are playing well. Right?
That's who Baltimore. That's who the Washington's playing.
Right. What they won 8 in a
row. Washington was winning 5-3, going into the bottom of the ninth. On again, off again. Finnegan came in to close the game, and they lost 6-5. Now Martinez.
Was that the inside the home run game too? Was there?
I don't know. Martinez and Rizzo, they were in the last year of their contract, so they won't have to be paid long term. They were in the last.
So who's replaced? I didn't see who replaced Martinez, and it was iffy. Martinez was
Mike DiBartolo, Mike DiBartolo, the assistant general manager, took over the general managership.
Right, and, I knew that night.
And Miguel Cairo, who was a spot player years ago, and the bench coach took over as the interim manager.
Makes sense.
They're talking about leaving DiBartolo in the general manager's job, but they're looking around for another manager after this year at the beginning to go into next.
It's hard to believe.
If the Nationals start playing well for this guy, they can, they'll sign him.
Me and you were talking too. It's a week before your draft, and you got rid of your general manager, who was. I know your assistant knows what's going on too, but still, it's like
the board. A week before the draft, your draft board is set. Yeah, you're doing all the final vetting and everything, but your draft board is set. You know who you want to pick 1, 2, 3, right on down the line. I think there's 4 rounds in the Major League draft. I think.
No, I think there's 7. I think.
Is it 7? Okay. But
anyway, it used to be 30-some, but 3, they did away with. Now they just signed free agents.
Right.
It's kind of like football, But it might be 4. I don't know, but I think it's 7, so they can fill out because that one with the rookie league or whatever in Florida doesn't start till after the draft. So
right. Well, I mean, in Arizona, they right-handed pitcher Ryan Thompson is on the IL with a bad shoulder. Arizona's just losing players left and right. Milwaukee, Reese Hopkins is on the IL with a left thumb sprain.
And I'm sitting here talking good. Well, Reese is having a resurgence there. He's a player that I knew when he got away. There was nowhere for him to play with Philly, right? He had he couldn't play first. The DH spot was taken. You can't play outfield. What are you going to do? So he went to the Brewers, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense for Reese Hoskins. So.
And Kiki Hernandez for the Dodgers went on the IL for 10 days with a left elbow problem. The other thing I like to mention is Mark DeRosa. I watched the morning baseball show sometime on MLB when I'm not cutting right. And Mark DeRosa, who managed the American team in the last, and he's going to manage the team next year again. He was talking about his 15-year-old son plays in the 15 and under travel thing in Georgia. They live outside of Atlanta. He played for Atlanta. He lives outside of Atlanta. And he said that they played in a tournament, a week-long tournament. And they consistently, he said his son, 15 and under, consistently saw 85 to 90 fastballs. 85 to 90 fastballs. That's
what they said. Like, these guys coming up, 100's not a big deal to them, right?
No, they're talking about just 17 and 18-year-olds in high school throwing 95, 96.
Yeah, they're saying these guys that grew up playing travel ball.
When I played in high school, if a guy threw 85, he was smoking.
I know, the best guy we faced for Dinwiddie that got drafted, became a catcher for the Braves organization. He would get it up there 81, 82. And it might as well have been 140 because that's what it looked like to us.
Yeah.
Because we constantly saw 70s, and this guy's coming up there 81, 82. You just had to get revved up. And then he had a nasty sinker or fork ball. We didn't know what it was. But we beat him twice. But anyway, they won.
Yeah, I see where I saw the other day. I didn't see what really happened, but I see where the Mets Marte is out for something. He's on the IL for some
reason. He gets hurt every year. This is where I talk about these muscle-bound guys. Like, if you don't have the muscle, it's hard to stretch it. Kruk used to say that. If you don't have it, you can't hurt it.
Well, the best ability for any athlete is availability.
Right.
And you can be the greatest. You can be the greatest player in your sport on the planet, but if you're sitting on your couch, you're not doing anybody any good.
And he's getting some age on him.
They also lost Dednell Nunez, who's a relief pitcher. He's going to have to go out and get his second Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, they just signed another veteran relief pitcher this week.
Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, Captain Petulance, Rafael Devers. Will Clark had a fielding program on an off day for San Francisco, the first baseman in San Francisco, and Devers was supposed to be there, and he never showed up. He's hitting about 110 since he's gone to San Francisco, and did hit a sacrifice fly yesterday. But
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you what, Boston made out in that deal because they got him out of their locker room.
Right, and they got some stuff that they needed.
And now they're moving, and that team's moving. They won
they've won some games. And I'm telling you, Will Clark he's got his own podcast. If you want to hear a character, listen to his podcast. He does not pull punches. He don't care who you are. He's not there. If you're bad, he's going to call you out. But if you're good, he's going to call you out too.
And
he's also their roving minor league batting instructor.
Right. The O's traded right-handed pitcher Brian Baker to the Rays, and they're going to get the 37 competitive balance pick in the draft tonight and tomorrow.
That's a weird thing. I don't understand that. But
the Yankees got tired. The Yankees, DJ LeMahieu couldn't hit, so they cut him. Finally cut. Nobody wanted to trade for him, so they just cut him.
Now Chisholm, they put him at second. Who's playing at third? A glove? What I mean, like, I haven't seen who's playing third base for him.
Some rookie, I think. Anyway, former manager Lee Elia of the Cubs, who was 88, passed away this week. Oh
yeah, I remember Lee Elia.
And so did Joe Coleman. Passed this week. He was a pitcher. He was 78. He pitched in the major leagues at 15 years for about 8 different teams.
Right.
So again, I mean, these guys. You see these names. I saw them play. You know.
Yeah. I remember Lee Elia with the Cubs in the early '80s. Manager. You know, little short guy. Tommy Little sort of looking type of manager.
Oh, and Cal Raleigh has the American League. He had. I don't know if he hits another homer today. He'll have the major league record, but he set the American League record for catchers for home runs before the All-Star game. He's got 32 or something, 38, I think. The All-Star game. We can talk about the All-Star game a little bit.
Yeah, I got the
Eric Crochet of Boston and Jacob deGrom of Texas opted out to rest because they want to be ready for the second half. Julio Rodriguez of Seattle opted out to rest. Let's see.
That's kind of what I was touching on last week. Was like
Wheeler's this is done the same thing for the Wheelers backed out too because Wheeler just pitched.
Well, that's what because these guys. It's a week. It's a week vacation. That's why I said it's almost like you want to be the best, but you don't want to be voted to the All-Star team.
Well, these players are starting to do a little bit like the NBA. They take games off in the NBA to rest because they don't want to be. Their playoffs are so long.
Right.
You don't want to be worn out when they get to the playoffs. So these players take time off. Now the bad thing is the fans that buy the tickets to want to see these guys play, and they sit out. There you go. But
it's hot.
Now the other thing is too, they got that kid from Milwaukee that's only pitched 5 games. They put him on the All-Star team, and there were 2 other players from Philadelphia. Well, there were Suarez and Sanchez. They said, why weren't they picked? Well, I think one of them's pitching today. Major League Baseball offered it to both of them, and they said no because Major League Baseball said, we will give one of you the spot on the team, the 2 guys from Philadelphia, but you have to be able to pitch 1 inning in that game. Well, one of them's pitching today.
Right.
And he said, I'm not going to be able to pitch Tuesday. And the other one said, I want to take Tuesday off to rest. So people are still hollering about this kid going on there, not the 2 guys from Philadelphia.
I don't care.
An opportunity.
Then they ain't seen this kid pitch.
On the team, you have to be able to play.
Then they ain't seen this kid pitch. If you're hollering about this kid, I don't care. He should be on the team. The dude is throwing a 94-mile-an-hour slider that is nasty, coming in the same slot as a 103-mile-an-hour fastball, and made Mookie Betts look like a child with a wiffle ball bat. The man, that dude is amazing.
And here's the other thing: people are bad mouthing the kid. He didn't make the choice, guys. It's not his choice. The league asked Milwaukee if they could get him, and then they asked him, and he said, "Yes, I'll play." He didn't send a letter to the commissioner saying, "Get me in the game." Yeah. Oh, and one other thing. You just said this kid is special. Now he might go in and get bombed, but he's special. Last year, I lobbied for Dela Cruz of Cincinnati to be on the All-Star team. Even though he hadn't been in the league a full season, that kid was exciting. I wanted to see him in the game because he was exciting.
Well, Skeens was the starting pitcher last year.
Yeah.
He didn't start even the season last year in the majors. But, I mean, everybody knew he's the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah. Well, Paul Skeens and Skubal are going to start. So
right. But, I mean, but that kid from Milwaukee, nobody gets to see because he's in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So nobody knows. Well, I mean, Skeens was at Pittsburgh, but Skeens is Skeens. This guy didn't play for LSU. This guy is some young boy. I mean, that had half the stands full on his major league debut.
Yeah, but when Skeens is pitching, MLB or somebody tries to show the game.
Right. Yeah, because he is
Pittsburgh.
He is the shit right now. Excuse my language. I'm trying to. It's no other way to put it. But he is.
And then Atlanta lost their best hitter. Austin Riley went on the IL with a strained.
That's another one. He's just going to miss. You're going to mark him down for 45 games a year, right?
Yeah. And Zach Wheeler is not going to be in the All-Star game. And so Adrian Morejon, I think it's pronounced Morejon or something like that, from San Diego is going to play. I want to say something, too. We had about 15, 16 guys. We're down to about 15, 16 guys that want to look at this, and that's fine. We just have fun. But one of them was a guy from Colorado. He called himself Colorado Dude or something. He made a nice comment. He agreed with you about these teams not trying hard enough, and we just wanted to thank him for making the comment, because we encourage it. If you want to go down below and make a comment.
And I mean, because he's dealing with that same type of problem in Colorado.
Yeah, but what makes that so real is because he's a Colorado fan. Mm-hmm. The Rockies are the worst team in baseball. They make the White Sox look good. They almost make the Nationals look good. As a Nationals fan, I can't say that. But you talk about a team that makes an organization that makes mistakes.
Well,
who they keep and who they don't keep.
Let's be honest. In Colorado, too, the only organization that really is worth a damn is the Broncos. I mean, I believe the hockey team is gone right now. They were so poorly managed, and then now I think the Avalanche are still playing.
Oh
yeah, the Avalanche. They're pretty good too. I was thinking of somebody else.
They finished about middle of the pack, and their basketball team won the NBA championship a few years ago.
Yeah, so I'll take it all back. Baseball is where they suck.
Yeah, baseball is where they stink.
But I mean, even the trope was, even back in the day when they started, the funny part was the best pitcher in Colorado was John Elway. So I mean, even when they started, it's been they've had.
They have a hard time getting some. They have a hard time signing, especially free agent pitchers, because it's hard to. That's the worst place in baseball to pitch.
Right.
The ball doesn't break and all that because of the altitude and the dry, and they don't have much humidity, and even with the humidors, it doesn't help much. Now, if you're a hitter, if you want to hit the ball, you might want to go there but they have a hard.
If you want to get drafted, go there and make them. It's like the A's. You make it through the farm system pretty fast.
Well, see, that's the other. They're speculating in the draft that the shortstop, the kid, he might not get picked until fourth or fifth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't get picked,
Colorado,
right? And if he doesn't get picked by Nationals first, he's going to slip a little bit because
the rest of the three teams are taking pitchers.
Right. So I think one might be taking a catcher too. But what else you got for us, Pop? Before we
we got the standings, and I just know the other. Aaron Judge, the best power hitter I've ever seen. He was the fastest to 350 home runs by a long shot. Now this is where I love baseball. I love irony anyway. Irony is why every time you drop the top to the jelly jar, that lands jelly side down. That's irony. Now, Brian Buxton, who gets hurt all the time. This year he's having a good year because he's not hurt. And I'm so glad, because he's so fun to watch. Great center fielder. Yesterday was Brian Buxton bobblehead day in Minnesota. He hit for the cycle.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
The first player of any team to hit for the cycle in that new ballpark in Minnesota. And the first one for Minnesota in a long time.
Right.
So he did it on his bobblehead day.
Good.
So that's pretty special.
Yeah.
And he went 5 for 5. And I'm going to give, I think when they were playing the Pirates, I'm going to give Pittsburgh credit. The manager told the pitchers, don't you dare try to walk him. Pitch to him. Get him out. If you don't want him to hit home run, get him out. Because all he needed was a home run. and he came up and he got a single like in the 6th inning or something, and he came up again in the 8th and hit a home run, and he hit for the cycle. The other team, before I do the standings, I want to give a little love to the Angels. The Angels are 1 game under 500. Now, I don't know what they're going to do today, but they're 1 game under 500. But that's the team that has a bunch of kids. It's a team that's I love their manager, and he's out for the year with health. Washington, he's out with a health problem. So he's out this year with a health problem, and they are playing they're playing their behinds off. They're playing so hard, and they're only 1 game under 500. I picked as my surprise team in the American League this year, the Oakland A's or the Sacramento A's, but I should have picked the Angels. All right, the standings, and then that'll be all I'll have. All right. In the American League, Toronto's up 2 games on the Yankees, and the Yankees have been playing real well lately. They did lose yesterday, though. And they're up 4 on Boston. Boston's won about 7 games in a row, and they're over 500 now. And they're ahead of Tampa. Tampa's slipping some. Detroit is up 3 games on Minnesota. Minnesota's played pretty well lately, and Detroit's lost a few games. Minnesota is now 1 game under 500. So everybody in that division is still under 500.
Well, they'll just have somebody else will have a bobblehead night every night of the week now.
Yeah. And Houston is up 6 games over Seattle, and Seattle, after losing a few games, has now won a few games. Of course, I think they're playing. I forgot who they're playing. Anyway, the Mets are leading the NL East by a half a game over Philadelphia. The Cubs are up by 1 game over Milwaukee, and the Dodgers are up by 4.5 over the Padres and 5 over San Francisco. San Francisco's had a tough time the Dodgers lost 7 in a row before they won last night 2-1 over San Francisco. And Shohei pitched 3 innings last night. The only time he gave up a run was the first 2 innings he pitched those 2 innings, and he struck out 6 in 3 innings, and he reached 100. So. Anyway, and that's it. After next week, after the All-Star break, I think next week, what we might start doing is looking at where everybody stands. We'll be over halfway. We'll look where everybody stands in the wild card. Now, it was pointed out yesterday before Baltimore lost 6-0 that they lost 6-0 to Miami. That Baltimore was only 6 games out of the wild card. However, there's 7 teams in between. See, it's not how many games you're out; it's how many teams you have to climb over, because you have to depend on them losing. Yeah, it's not just you winning. You can win a lot of games, but if there's 5 teams in front of you to win, you're done. So that's where they face, and they're the only team in that division with a losing record. So
I just want to go over real quick the American League. We got Cal Raleigh catching. We got Baby Vlad playing first. Gleyber Torres. There's a name for Detroit. Couldn't get it together in New York. Goes to Detroit. Makes the All-Star team. Junior Caminero. What's that?
Less pressure.
Yeah, Junior Caminero, second-year player, Tampa, third base. Now, Jose Ramirez declined. He did get voted in, but he's taking the week off. Jacob Wilson is the shortstop, and that's pretty good. Your rookie year, starting shortstop, All-Star game, that's pretty good. Yeah, Jacob Wilson.
He's with the A's.
Yeah, A's. Aaron Judge, of course, outfield. Riley Green with Detroit. And Javier Baez, who's – you want to talk about a guy that was a hit case. Devers, they need to – maybe Baez could talk to Devers, because Baez was a hit case. He probably still is. But the man will play anywhere on the field and succeed. So
There's a key there, son.
Huh?
There's a very important key there.
He's older.
Who was their manager? A.J. Hinch.
Yeah.
The guys in Houston to this day, the people that played for him in Houston said they was the best manager they ever played for.
Oh, okay.
So, and the guys in Detroit said that if upper management fired Hinch, that they would walk out the door and go to another team. That's how much they love this guy.
The reserves, they got more
Nobody wants to
reserves than any, Kirk at catcher, Aranda, Bregman, Chisholm, Garcia, Brandon Lau, from Virginia, McKinstry, Paredes, Pena, which is nice. Jeremy Pena, he hasn't done much since his rookie year. Bobby Witt, who should be starting. Arazarino, who just keeps crushing the ball. And then you said Buxton, he's on the team. Stephen Kwan, J-Rod, who you said is not taking it, and Rooker, who I love him. The man has big cojones. He wears 25 for the Athletics. Mark McGuire, who he goes out and he just plays ball. Pitchers, Brown, Bubick, Crochet, like you said, Crochet and DeGrom not playing. Freed, Kikuchi, Myers,
Max Fried is out too. He's got a blister.
Yeah, Rodon, Ryan, Skubal, Smith, and Wu. That was, up until this weekend. It's going to probably be changing this whole week. More pitchers: Chapman, Estevez, Hader, and Munoz.
Hader blew his first save last night. He's starting to get a little tired.
Yeah, so the starters: Will Smith, Freddie Freeman. This is for National League. Ketel Marte. I wish everything for that young man. Manny Machado, Francisco Lindor, Acuna, PCA for Chicago would probably be the look on track for being the National League MVP.
He'd be the MVP if Ohtani wasn't in the league.
Well, I still think I think he's got a chance, because the one thing that people do get tired of is the same person always.
Yeah, they vote for somebody else.
Right. So, there was
like last year, Josh Allen in the NFL got the MVP, and it should have gone to Baltimore again to the quarterback.
Right.
He had a better year than he had the year before when he won the MVP.
You got your reserves: Hunter Goodman for Colorado. Okay, Pete Alonso for the Mets, Dela Cruz. Donovan for St. Louis, who was when you say dirtbag and you mean it in a baseball sense, he is one. He'll get dirty anywhere. Matt Olson, Suez, Corbin Carroll, Stowers, Tatis, James Wood, and Schwarber. Schwarber's, I don't know if he's going to have the numbers to be a Hall of Famer, but he's a difference maker. I don't like him, but he's a thorn in everybody's side. That's why I don't like him.
I loved him when he was with Washington.
Yeah, of course, because he's the guy that you want on your team. It don't matter if he bats 195. He's just on base all the time. Andrew Abbott, starting pitchers: Abbott, Matthew Boyd, Gore, Kershaw, which gets a Legends pick. I didn't even know they had that. Mizorowski, Peralta, David Peterson for the Mets. He's pitching right now. Robbie Ray, Crescell, Skeens, Logan Webb, Zach Wheeler, who we talked about before, Yamamoto, relief pitchers, Jason Adam, Edwin Diaz, Trevor McGill, who was a Met. We let him walk. Brady Rodriguez, Robert Suarez, Andrew Mulhern. I think that is it. Yep, that is it. So, interesting. Nothing really. I mean, everybody, they got a.
Well, you have to. That's subject to change, especially with the pitchers, because like Kershaw felt a little discomfort the other night. Wheeler's not playing because he just pitched and he's gonna rest. So I mean, if the rule is that the pitchers have to be able to pitch to be on the All-Star team in the game, then you got to get guys that haven't pitched Saturday or Sunday.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, that's,
Maybe even Friday, because it's not 5 days rest.
I like the fact that Riley Green is in. I don't know. Maybe I could see where some other outfielders could be. I like the fact that Ryan O'Hearn from Baltimore DH is a starter. That's cool. Will Smith, he's just the quietest. I think because you talked about Cal Raleigh last week. That when I think about the best pitchers and catchers in baseball right now, I look at more defense than I do offense. For me, outweighs it. But the offense is great too if you can make up for it. Will Smith is just, to me.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, he's just quietly just does his job. I've really liked him over the years, even being a Dodger. So, but
that right there was the telling us we're having bad thunderstorms. Gee, we've had it for 2 hours. Now we're getting a call.
So that's what we have now with that, and I hope everybody. The festivities, they're wearing their uniforms.
Yeah, they're not wearing their pajamas. They're not wearing their pajamas.
Yeah, and so at least the opening, all of them lining up on that is worth watching. That gives me chills every time. But when they're wearing those crappy uniforms, I didn't even watch it. So it was just.
That was what I looked forward to as a child.
Yeah, it was backwards.
After we got to TV and we only had one game a week on Saturday, the All-Star game is when I got to see all the Robin Roberts and the Randy
the whites and the grays. They wore their grays and they wore their whites. You wanted to see the uniform.
They wore their uniforms. And, of course, it was black and white television, but I didn't care. I could tell the Dodgers from the Giants.
Right. And, I mean, now we got a little bit of color. It's, spicy and – I almost want them to have them all wear their City Connects.
Oh no!
Just to piss off a bunch of people.
I'm not a big fan of those either.
That's the troll in me. But Dad, you got anything? Last parting words?
Oh yeah, I have my yogiism for the week. His family had a Christmas dinner, and they sat down after the Christmas dinner, and they turned on the television, and this old movie came on. It was called Papillon, and it was about that prison camp down on the island in the Caribbean. And Steve McQueen was the star of it, and he said, "Steve McQueen looks good in this movie. He must have made it before he died." Yeah. Even he couldn't explain that one. His wife told somebody, and they told somebody, and he said, and then they came back to him and asked him about it. He said, "Well, you know what I mean."
Right.
But anyway,
I just hope everybody enjoys the whatever festivities, whatever you get out of the All-Star game. I like to, now they got their unis. I'll at least watch them get announced. I watched Skeens pitch last year, the first inning. I thought that was pretty miraculous. I'm not a big fan of the home run derby. I'm not all of that crap. I like futures games. I just like looking at the lineups, seeing who's playing for who.
Well, the pitching dominated.
I'm sure. And that's what I get out. And then now
there's one pitcher on there in the Seattle organization that can pitch with either hand.
So yeah. So and then the draft is always interesting to me just to see because the baseball draft, let's be honest, is a very different from any other sport. The players are not going to make instant impact. They're not going to be starting the next year. Very rarely do they even make a presence their first.
Now they have 6 of the kids selected in the draft last year in the major leagues this year, and they said it's because the colleges have done such a good job of having the kids more ready. And these kids are coming up from Little League with the travel ball and everything, and the training indoors in the winter and all that. These kids are mentally and physically more ready to play.
Well, the college now is like high A ball is what they're comparing it to. So, it's good for them to come out 6 players, but they're probably pitchers or teams that really needed help or something. So, but yeah, there you have it. So have fun this week with it, and until next time, like, share, leave us a comment, questions, remarks, anything you would like to share. And thanks again, and to everyone that watches, and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, see ya.